Okay, so welcome back. I know that a lot of Legion news dropped just yesterday, which generated a little bit of excitement for the game. I'll probably have a video talking about that stuff soon, but I found this Kickstarter here for some Star Wars Legion themed buildings. These look like Lothal or potentially Mos Eisley type buildings. This is a Kickstarter. I will put a link to this Kickstarter in the description below. It's a $60 pledge, and that gets you the core set. They've reached their goal, so if you order, you are going to get it, and you're going to get all of the extended stuff too, which I'm going to go over. So this is the core. You get 3 small buildings. The 3 small buildings are slightly different. They look like they're about the same size. The doors are all slightly different, and these barricades or supports or buttresses on the side are all slightly different. And then you get 2 large buildings, which look very significant. They're good-sized buildings. And then we have another picture here with a couple of 40K figures next to them to give you a sense of scale. And then they go through what you get, the core, which is all that's in the picture there. And then we've got a couple of pictures of some that have been finished a little bit, got some different options that you might have. But then they have their stretch goals, so they've already met their stretch goals as well. So if you contribute the $60 plus the shipping costs, which is an extra $6 in the US, more elsewhere, you're going to get an additional small building. You're going to get some barricades. You're going to get 3 ladders, so not this building, but you'll get 3 ladders to hang in your buildings. 4 large walls that can be used to either connect to each other or potentially have walls between buildings. You're going to have a tower that it looks like you can put it up next to another building in order to expand it. You have this transition wall, which looks pretty nice. You can use that between a couple of buildings, and it has this entranceway, so it creates a bit of a choke point for the game and gameplay. Might create some interesting gameplay there. And you'll also get this one large building. Now you'll notice this large building, it looks a little unfinished. It doesn't have the dome on the top. It has a circle cut out of it. It does have this note that the stretch goals are prototypes, that more changes will happen if they're produced. They're going to be produced, so you might not get exactly what was shown in the pictures, but it should be a decent representation of what you're going to get. So that turns out to be 8 buildings, plus the tower, which you could consider as a 9th building potentially, plus the walls and the transitions, the barricades and the ladders. I think for $60 that's a pretty good deal. Then they have individual buys that you can make and can get to the small buildings, the medium and large buildings, the small building. Now these 2 weren't part of the Kickstarter, but we have a couple of upscale buildings that have some skylights in them. We have a bridge, a tower. Now the tower, I wouldn't necessarily go for this. This looks more medievalish than it does Star Wars. But it's another option for $15. You've got this building with a courtyard. You get a really large building here, and another large building. So there's a lot of options. Now one of the interesting things about this does say it's a part 1. Scroll back up to this. It's part 1. They do plan to do, as long as this got funded, which it did, they're going to do a part 2 and a part 3, which backers of part 1 are going to be able to have a part in shaping. So if you back part 1, you're going to be able to help contribute to whatever gets into part 2 and 3, or at least have a say in it, which is potentially very interesting. Now this Kickstarter is only active for a few more days, so if you're interested in this, I would get on it quickly. Otherwise, I will be, once I get these buildings, I'll be posting videos of opening them up and putting them together and painting them and all of that. I'm thinking more Tatooine myself, Tatooine Mos Eisley. I know I have a friend that's thinking Lothal, and I'm thinking more Tatooine-ish, so we'll see how that goes. I'll have to be thinking about how I'm going to paint and finish all of these buildings. So thank you very much. If this video was helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. I plan to be doing a lot more Legion and Armada content in the coming months. So click the bell and get notified when I upload new content. Thank you very much.